Welcome back to 5-Minute Knives. Take 478 of our video on the knife kits you can buy. These are knife kit kits completed. And what knife kit kits are their blade blanks that have already been shaped for you, heat and cryo treated already. You order those, you make a handle, you make a sheath, you have a knife. That's what knife kits are. Knifekits.com, check them out. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about whether or not these are worth it, whether or not you guys should attempt one. We're going to talk about some Subscribe Star giveaways coming up on Valentine's Day. Also a couple of shout outs, and that's about it. But first, let's pay some bills. Okay, now that all of my bills are paid indefinitely from that ad, let's get into the knife kits. Now, you guys remember the Tonto I made in, I don't know, it was a couple of videos back, where it had kind of like a wonky glue spot, and I brought that to our first gun show we did, and somebody was like, yeah, I want that. And I was like, cool, man. And it was just like this. It didn't have any attachment. It was just kind of a basic sheath, because it was an error. It wasn't, didn't come out great, in my opinion. Other than the bad glue spot, it looked okay, but I didn't want to like sell it or do anything with it. And also those Tontos used to come in 440A steel. That was 440C, so I didn't even care when it got screwed up. But somebody at the gun show fell in love with it, wanted it. And these, depends on what you want to sell them for. But I sold them that Tonto for peanuts. I mean, silly peanuts, right? I didn't make any money. I lost money on it because it was screwed up. It was a defect. So I go, here you go. Give me a couple bucks. It's yours. And he was very happy. A little while later, one of his buddies stopped back and said, you didn't give him an attachment. So I gave him a combat loop for free, and then he went about his way. At that gun show, I was very generous. I gave a lot of stuff away. I sold a lot of stuff for just at a loss. Lily's looking at me like, what are you doing? I was trying to make friends. If somebody saw one of my knives, like I sold my K-Bar Turok, a couple of knives that, I don't even use anymore other than for sheath making, and the K-Bar Turok, no one's requested one of those in a while, so I was like, F it. So I put the Turok in, one of my sheaths and put it on the table for a certain price. Well, this guy comes over and says, oh, I love that. That looks so awesome. I was like, cool. And he was such a cool guy. He was another vendor there that I reduced my price, quite a bit just so he could get hooked up and get this knife that he was drooling over. And I thought it was a good first impression thing to hook him up. Well, long story short, about 20 minutes later, this kid comes walking by me that was looking at my knives, and he goes, you know what? I'm going to buy one of these. I'll be right back. I was like, okay, do your thing. So we were excited. Here comes a sale, another sale, right? This kid comes walking by 20 minutes later with that K-Bar Turok in my sheath going, hey, I found one. And he showed me. And I go, oh, cool. I go, what'd you pay for it? And he told me. The guy marked it up a ton. That's what I would have sold it for normally to a random stranger, but I marked it way down for this guy. I thought maybe we were going to be friends. I don't know. But then he sold it. And he made a profit too. I should have just said no and just kept it. But anyway, the gun show went good. No other weirdness than that. Probably the weirdest thing there was me. But everybody handled me really well. And this weekend, I'm going to another gun show. So very, very busy with the running around, but they're a good pop of income. And it keeps me from having to harass you folks about Subscribe Star every 2 seconds. Although, well, there's your reminder right there. Okay, here's knife kits. Now, you can get these blades already ground, already shaped, already mostly polished, heat and cryo treated off of knifekits.com. I've been doing business with them for many years. They don't even know that. I actually had a Kydex company back in the day. I used to do business with them. And now I get many of my materials from them. Not all. I order from a few places now. But Knife Kits has been pretty good to me. Now, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of these, whether or not you guys should attempt one. This is one I made for a vampire, and not to kill a vampire with, but for a vampire to purchase. I thought a vampire would enjoy this angular, jagged, no attachment. It's just for decoration mainly. But it's a dagger design. Check it out. Wow. So I believe this is 440C steel. I'm going to make another video of me actually making one of these. But this is what you get. You get the blade. They scratch very easily. See? I got to go hit that with a tough cloth before we hit the show. This isn't really for sale. It's more for I don't know, just kind of showing off and showing people at the show a little bit what I do. But knowing these shows, somebody's probably going to buy it. But there it is. It's like a Kieranite. I forget what I used for, Dermagrip or whatever this is. They have a bunch of synthetic fiberglass resin with a bunch of different designs and stuff like that. Different companies make them, but to me, they're all the same. Very smooth, polished. This had about 6 tiny holes in it. to attach your handle. And even though I don't have liners in here, I wanted to put in red liners, but I was too scared after screwing up that Tonto because, you know, you get the handle on, you get it all glued, you get the liner on, everything's glued on both sides. Then you put in a pin that goes through, you got to get a liner, you know, the other side here, and then all the pins got to go through. 6 of these tiny little mosaic pins going in here would have been a damn nightmare. So they had 2 holes drilled out in the center of the frame here, tang here for weight reduction. And I just put some thong tubing in there and polished it. I think that came out pretty sweet. So I think this is going to make a vampire out there very, very happy. Other thing weird about this sheath, this side there's rattle. And the sides there's really not. A little less. A little bit. It's an irregular shape. It's kind of weird. But very, very cool. I don't know what I would sell that for. Probably nothing. Now the steel on this, I believe this is, this is 440C. And that Tonto was also 440C. I remember back in the day it was all 440A, so I don't know. Maybe they switched them out. This is another one I made that you guys might dig even more. These are G10 handles or Derma Grip. I mean, much like G10. See, I kind of scalloped in there, right? And my favorite part is the sheath because I put a scallop point in front of, like, you know, the guard. So that enabled me to grind the sheath way up and get like this great grip before you draw. You got this drop point, kind of slight recurve. And I believe this is this one's AUS 8, I think. I got to go look them up. But again, we'll make a more detailed video. 4.5-inch blade, very cool. This one came out really nice. No gaps, no nothing. Same with both of them. No gaps this time. It's always hard to clean this part for me, this top part here. So anyway, these are the 2 knives I made. We'll get into the pros and cons. Real quick, I just want to address one more thing. Every once in a while, I order stuff from another Kydex company just to see how they do things, and I don't know if their stuff is good and my stuff sucks or whatever. And I carry, I don't know if I told you guys, but I switched my carry gun to the CZ-P10S. Bought it at the last show, actually. So here is a holster I just purchased. I'm not going to say from whom. Really cool, like, design. You know, I love that design. I don't do designs because they screw up my foam. And I'm covering up the name of the company here. Reason being is I don't really like the lines of this holster that much. And if you look at this part here, which doesn't look bad without the pistol in it, but look, it's all wonky, okay? Now for comparisons, here's just one I just grabbed randomly. Here's one of mine. Here's a Dragon Scale concealment holster for the Glock 19 and all those other Glocks that fit it. Here is the P10S holster and fit and finish. You guys tell me what you think. Now this is from a big company and I paid full price for that. More than mine cost, by the way. So I'm not trying to, like, you know, say other companies suck. But what I'm saying is this is an established company and I'm some random chump, right? And that's what you get. Now, I will be honest and let you guys know that I did just receive my first return. Being a custom company, you don't think that we would accept returns. Or at least Lily didn't think so. But I've decided that if I ever make a sheath for you guys and you aren't happy with it, go ahead and return the thing. Return it. I'll give you a full refund every time. Now, can I resell the thing? Probably not. The next person's probably not going to want your colors and may not even have your custom knife. So I'm out, those 2 hours that I spent and however much the material and fitment and all this other stuff, I can cannibalize it and take like the washers and combat loop off and, you know, put this on something else. So it's not a total loss. But put it this way, if anybody's in the market for a Sparrow sheath, I got an extra one. And I keep getting Sparrows sent in too. There's somebody sent in an awesome carbon fiber handled black bladed Sparrow. And I thought it looked awesome. And by the way, those sheaths that the Sparrows come with, the shape is so ugly. It's ridiculous. And they're like little maracas. So I understand why people keep sending in Sparrows is the point. But this guy sent one in and I remember making it too. I was really into it. He wanted it a little bit shorter, but he got it in a drop down. He got it with a drop down attachment. So I thought he was going all vertical because he had this drop down attachment here. He wanted it a little bit shorter than the one in my video. So the one I made was a little shorter, but not by that much. And then also the other thing, I don't have it on hand now, but here it is. I started putting drainage holes here and he said that it looked pointless, like it didn't do anything. I found that when I put the 2 holes here, sometimes, you know, the edge and tip of the blade would be exposed, and I didn't really like that as much. And then what I do with these is I chamfer out the insides, not just the outsides. I chamfer the insides. So these work very well, and I'm thrilled with it. But I can go back to putting 2 holes up here if you guys really want. You seem to prefer that. And this was even part of the reason for his return. I think most custom companies won't work with you when you screw up or when you get something that you don't like. And I think that's why he stepped to me with a little bit of like, he was cool. No offense to you, bud. I'm not picking on you. But he was just like, the colors were all off. The drainage hole seems stupid. It's longer than I wanted it. Like he had this laundry list of stuff that's wrong with it. And guys, you saw this sheath in the video and I got so many comments on how beautiful it was. So I'm willing to bet one of you guys may even want it. So I just said, sir, no issue whatsoever. Go ahead and return it. I'm going to send all your money right back. As soon as I get it in the mail, all your money comes back and I'll just eat it. Now, how big is my company? Well, you guys know it's 2 people. Can we afford to do this? No, that was a good sale. And then we already spent that money and now I got to take a hit, right? So it sucks. Why am I doing it then? Why do I do stuff like that? It's because I don't want to rip you guys off. I don't ever want people to think I'm ripping them off. And I'm new at Kydex. I'm only like a year in with this stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm still learning my processes. I'm still, changing designs like the drainage holes. By the way, if you guys really put a lot of thought into your drainage holes on your sheaths, you need a hobby. You'll never need a drainage hole in your entire life, probably never, not once. If you do, great. It's like a laser on a gun. It's just for your own satisfaction. That's it. And I know you guys like the 2 little snake bites right here. So I may bring them back just to make you happy. The only thing that's weird about that is sometimes I have to repress it. Not repress it, but heat it up, put it back in the press for about 5 minutes and make sure there's no wobble in the end, when you put 2 holes in the end. All the retention is right here for the tip. And it's not retention, but it's all shrouded in there. So once you start poking holes in there and chamfering them, countersinking these, not chamfering, excuse me. Did I say that earlier? If I did, take a drink. Okay, but you guys get my point. Not a bad guy. Not happy with the sheath. Bummed me out. Is my first time that's ever happened. I think in the beginning when we were selling stuff on eBay, I had, I was using these crappy like clips in the beginning and one of them broke on somebody. So I sent him 3. So this is my first time I've ever had a customer kind of, be upset. And I was just like, well, it didn't cost you anything. I mean, maybe you're shipping in time. But I think I have a right to be more upset spending 2 hours in my shop hand sanding this thing for you to hear the colors aren't right. The other thing about the colors, guys, too, is when you guys tell me the colors, like when you get like flat dark earth, there's flat dark earth fall, there's flat dark earth spring. And then if you get carbon fiber, that's made by a totally different company called Holstex. And I know it's not your responsibility to know these things. However, there's differences between the spring and fall. They look totally different. And then the carbon fiber is a slightly different shade. So he got carbon fiber FDE with like FDE spring, I think, which is different than fall. So he just thought the FDEs would go together. Well, these are different companies and everybody's got their own FDEs. Don't believe me? Try to customize a handgun with like a light that matches your magazine base pad. Good luck. You're never going to get the same colors. In any other thing you do with handguns, with knives, match a piece of paracord, the color of paracord, to, like, I just made this guy a brown and hunter orange sheath for his JG5 yesterday. And I put this orange paracord wrapped around it because it's got a hunter orange back. Those oranges don't match at all. The paracord's way brighter. So you guys get my point. Matching colors is a fool's errand. Very hard to do. But I ordered the exact colors he wanted, and I have a receipt to show it and all this other stuff. So it's exactly what he ordered. So colors, bunk reason. Drainage hole, I don't even want to hear those words from you guys again. Okay? I'm going to do whatever I want with drainage holes from now on. And you're just going to deal with it. I'm joking. But who's ever had a drainage hole fail on them? Weirdos. Who's ever had their sheath full of water and been like, oh, I can't do anything about this? First of all, it's a combat loop. Take it off your belt. And if your drainage hole was plugged up, go like this. Done. Blow it out. What's the matter? You guys didn't have an 8-bit Nintendo? Huh? I'm just joking. Yeah, you can tell I'm a little rattled from my first return. He's a good guy. I think he's fine. I'm not mad at him. I think he was very complimentary in the beginning. Oh, and then the other thing is I was supposed to send this out. Clerical error. We never sent out Red Bear's Sheath. Red Bear's Sheath. I'm going to send it out today. So here's what I think I showed it already. But there's Red Bear's. So sorry, buddy. I just left you a message. I'm going to go ahead and get that in the mail today. The reason being is because we didn't have a receipt because it was a giveaway win. So Lily just takes all the receipts and mails all the things out when she goes, or I do. And this time, she grabbed all the receipts and the sheaths, and since there was no receipt for Red Bear's win on Subscribe Star, well, she didn't think to grab it. And I told him it ships, so My bad, bud. You're going to get it soon. What else? That's about it. We're running 15 minutes. That's plenty for me. We got this show this weekend. Somebody asked about a CM6 setup in my CM6 video. If you guys want to get your handle scales from the knife connection here, and you're going to pick up a CM6, just tell me I got the same scales as you, bro. Make me this. And I'm telling you, it's my favorite sheath still. Something about that retention. These handle scales and this knife with the smooth, non-jimped spine, 3/16 spine, just make this fitment that is really special. And this sits next to my bed. This is for potato digging. You guys love that term, and you now know what it means. We are the potato diggers of the world. The sheepdogs, the protectors, right? Not that knives are really used for that. This is more for like, and I say it's for potato digging, but think about how often you're going to be potato digging. Maybe once in your life if you're extremely unlucky. For everybody else, I hope you never have to know about it, but this knife is mainly for survival. But it does have, applications for your potatoes. So, but there's like no lanyard hole. There's no jimping. This isn't for your bushcrafting. But if I was out in the woods and I'm doing this, I could do this just fine. I could do all my bushcrafting stuff with this. That's the point of this knife. This is a field knife, which means it should be an all-arounder. And at 6 inches with this shape and everything, kind of is. Still one of my favorites. So, I don't know. What do you guys think of the Vampire knife? Tell me what you think about the Vampire knife here. Whoa, there it is. Doesn't spin so good. What about you, guy? You spin? Or my drop-down Hunter. Let me know if you need any of these things, any sheaths. And then also, let me know what you think of this, because this is so funny. I mean, what do you think of this? You guys know me by now. Would I let this out of the shop? Of course not. I lose so much money on you people. You don't even know. Lily's like, how much more time are you going to work on that sheath down there? Well, I don't know. Till I'm satisfied with it. I can make a sheath in a half hour. No problem. Especially if it's not drop down or anything. But I like to take my time. I take a long time. I put music on. I relax. I'm making just enough money to cover everything with this now. So that's great. And it's expanding. And one last thing. I think I'm going to become a dealer for, I'm trying to get in with Cold Steel, K-Bar, Essie. I heard back from everybody so far, so we're just going over the logistics. So on my site, I'm probably going to offer Cold Steel knives, Essie knives, you name it. This way I can go to the gun shows and I can sell the knives in the box. Bop. Here you go. Little profit for me. And then if you really love this knife, which I highly recommend, watch my video on YouTube about it, here's a bunch of sheaths that fit it. So I'm kind of going into the pre-mades is the reason for this rant. And the reason is because you custom guys are beating me up. I mean, you're all sweethearts and I love you. But every time you order something custom, it's all these wacky colors. I got to order them. I always have leftover stuff. So I'm just drowning in Kydex in the basement. And then, we can't really afford you guys to be unhappy about something I spent a morning on. So I think I'm going to stick with mainly the pre-mades and mainly be a dealer. And then I'll still do customs, but I'm not going to advertise for it. And I'll do it for my friends and subscribers and stuff like that. I think that might be the solution. I think I'm more profitable on the pre-mades because you guys just see it and go, oh, that looks dope. Like if you just saw this, right? $250 on my site. You get the scales, you get a brand new CM6, and you get the sheath, maybe even with a drop-down attachment, combat loop, right? $250. I don't know. But a lot of you guys would jump right now. Maybe $220. I don't know. I don't know the numbers, but what I'm saying is the cost of all this stuff added up, I could do it for you, maybe. And that would be a pre-made. Rather than you being like, oh, I just got a CM6, let me go get the handles. I want this weird carbon fiber, FDE spring. Oh, they don't match. I want to return it. Let's not do that. Let's skip all that. My customers, I think, know where I'm coming from. I'm new at this. This is a pandemic business we started to stay alive, and you guys have kept us alive, and we're eternally grateful for that. That being said, I'm still new. I'm learning, working on this stuff all the time. And I think my regulars really know that. You guys buy like 3-4 sheaths at a time. A lot of you guys have been buying sheaths off me for almost a year now. And the people that bought a year ago, I cringe to think what I sent you because the skill wasn't there. I'm still growing. So I think my customers know that I'm evolving, and I don't think they mind buying the evolving designs. So we're good. But it may be mostly pre-made in the future. We'll see. Let's see what this gun show brings. And then I might become more of a retailer than a custom guy because I can't hire somebody to make these. People aren't going to put the same care in that I do. I'm telling you right now. I could pay some kid $30 an hour and painstakingly teach him every lesson I've picked up. And he's not going to do this. You know why? Because he's going to come into work. His girlfriend's going to be arguing with him that day. His mind's going to be distracted. He doesn't know you, the customer. He didn't deal with you on YouTube, Instagram, eBay, whatever. build that relationship, take the order, go through all that. He just got a sheet in front of him. So what's he going to do? He's going to slap this together. His girlfriend's going to send him an angry text. He's going to screw up the finish. He's not going to polish it like I do. The fit and finish probably won't be anywhere near what mine is. Not saying I'm amazing. It's different when you're the owner. I'm sure you guys get this. And those of you that own businesses, sound off in the comments about your help. How's it been for you hiring people? What's the workforce look like out there? I don't even want to bother sifting through it because I think I'm just going to spend most of my time yelling or mad. So that's it. It's a one-man operation. It's going to stay that way. I'm probably going to go into knife making. That's why I'm messing around with these kits and stuff. And I just got to be careful that we stay afloat. So keep the sheaths coming. Check out Subscribestar for the giveaway on Valentine's Day. When you're buying from a big Kydex company, remember this image. Mom and Pop can make good stuff too. And I grabbed this at random. I'm not kidding. I said, Lily, give me any G19 sheath or a holster. So I didn't know what she grabbed. They look like that. They don't look like that. And this looks a little goofy with my gun. But because I don't do graphics, I wanted this graphic. I just thought it looked awesome because I have red and black all over my gun. But this looks like crap. If you're watching this and you recognize the company this comes from because you worked there or you made this, tighten up a little bit. That'd be a verbal from me. So that's it. I think I'm done. Talk forever. You guys are awesome. I can't think of anything more. Lily says thank you. We have some big news coming soon. I'm not going to say it now. Big stuff's coming. And let's just keep building that Subscribestar because that's going to be that nice passive that's going to enable me to just give away knives all the time. And if I become a dealer, you can expect all sorts of giveaways. So we'll see what happens. But you guys let me know in the comments how the channel's treating you, how you like the way we're evolving here. If you understand my operation and what I'm trying to do. And if you've received a sheath from me, let me know how you feel about it in the comments. How's it aging? How's it holding up? Do you have any issues? Don't be quiet. I'll fix it. Anything. Or more importantly, maybe I could use the pickup after my first upset customer. It's going to happen. What are you going to do? I don't know. But I'm not going to rethink my model around it, So let me know what you think in the comments. I will take your advice as always. You guys have taught me so much about both business, knives, everything. I'm the student here, not the other way around. And I fully acknowledge that. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next time on 5-Minute Knives. Be upset. My bad, bud. Wow, 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 wow.